Hello, and welcome to Hey, I Loved That Movie, the podcast where we rewatch the films we loved when we were younger to see if they still hold up. I'm Dan,
I'm Michael.
And I'm Helena.
and for this episode we watched Blade. It's techno music.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
What's you guys' history with this? Because I had seen the blood shower scene and Blade Trinity.
Okay.
That's all I'd seen of Blade. We watched Blade Trinity together. It was bad.
Yeah. I watched Blade's a pretty bad franchise, but like in a good way. I've watched this a lot. I watched this a couple times as a kid, and then I watched Blade 2 and Trinity more. So I definitely remembered watching this film, but I remember. So it's weird. I remember being like, "Oh, I loved the first Blade," so I'd like, "I'll watch the second and third." But I didn't really ever actually remember watching the first Blade. Rewatching it, I definitely had flashbacks. But yeah, so I'd seen it. I liked it. Campy vampire movie.
I've definitely seen Blade 2, and I think Blade Trinity multiple times, and this I've definitely seen Blade but not paid attention to it. Like, I remembered parts of it.
Yeah.
But I've definitely not like properly watched Blade 1 ever before.
It's like titular cool vampire movie.
Yeah, I had a great time.
Yeah, I really enjoyed watching this.
I had such fun watching this. Wesley Snipes, man, like it.
Like, considering, by Blade Trinity he'd given up caring. By this one, you can see why they fucking chose him. He's so good in this role.
This is like a great campy vampire movie that isn't bright and colourful.
Yeah.
Because it's so stupid.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But it's got that good level of self-awareness where they're like, for a lot of it, they're like, this is dumb.
This is dumb.
And the continual references to like, don't believe everything you watch in the movies.
Yeah.
Vampires don't do this, this, and this.
His dialogue is hilarious.
The dialogue is dreadful.
And it's got that Matrix sheen, that like everything's techno. Cool.
There's long leathers.
Yeah, even though it's pre-Matrix. The Matrix was
it's
inspired by Blade.
It's that 90s vibe though, that like 90s... Yeah. The coolest things in the world is big leather jackets and very small sunglasses.
And that's why it's a surprise that Underworld didn't come out till later.
It's got this like dirty Berlin kind of chic vibe to it, like real rave. Obviously there is an actual vampire rave in it.
Berghain vibe.
But yeah.
Like, so we're introduced to very first scenes is like random character who is horny, wants to sleep with person is a vampire, tricks him into a sort of maybe the worst smelling room I can think of.
Smells worse than the set of Underworld.
Yeah. So tricks him into a secret vampire rave, which is
in
a
abattoir.
Hidden back room in an abattoir. I can't think of anything worse than a nightclub in the back of a slaughterhouse.
What if they've then hooked up blood to the sprinkler system?
Yeah, no, that's the only way it could be worse, and it actually
well,
is
have
worse.
I got news for you?
Yeah. But do you know what's really funny? That's just Berghain. That's just a Berghain party. They didn't actually film anything. They didn't actually plan anything there. That's just what they do. That's just what they do. But yeah, they opened the fucking sprinklers, and it's just blood.
Just spray blood down all on everyone.
And it's at that point that the bloke realizes he's fucked up by following this vampire.
Yeah.
Who is wearing, like, considering like the costume is pretty solid throughout all of this, the worst wig. She looks dreadful. Everyone else looks pretty good. I mean, until they're animated, but that's beside the point.
We'll get when this film goes off the rails, because you think this film can't go off the rails. It does.
It finds a way.
It finds a way to go off the rails.
Yeah, it's not really like it starts on the rails. To be
No,
fair.
No,
it's-
it's insane from the get-go. Like, he just starts shooting vampires and they turn to skeletons.
Yeah.
He has the blade from Blade and he uses that to chop up vampires too.
Oh, that's why it's
Yeah.
called Blade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a Simpsons bit where they're going through like a museum and it's the blade from Blade. Oh, and he's got like a boomerang thing made of blades that he throws as well, and it slices through people.
He's got a whole collection of weapons.
Yeah, I mean, he
that
has
kill
an armory.
vampires.
Yeah.
But he only uses them once. Each one gets used once, and then he moves on to a different. Cool
He
weapon.
likes the automatic silver assault
Oh yeah, the
rifle, though.
SMGs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Blade
Like,
does
that
not
comes
like
out a
to
lot.
reload. That's what we should take from this.
The guns they reuse, but like the other cool weapons, like the essential boomerang.
Yeah, he uses that a couple of times.
I
And then
also
it
like
won't.
the vampire cheese wire.
Yeah, he uses the cheese wire at like twice.
Yeah,
That's
because
the-
doesn't he remove that guy's arms twice?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's the little like bits that if it's the wrong person holding his sword and they don't press a button, it like shoots extra little blades out.
Yeah,
To
it just
slice their
explodes
hands
the
up.
hands. Yeah. Fuck, it's dumb.
Oh, but
It's-
yeah, but it's kind of funny.
It's it's
dumb,
cool.
but it fucking
It's like
rules.
it's that vibe of like, oh, that's cool, and then you think about it, you go, ah, it's dumb.
It's dumb, but
So-
in the moment, who cares?
Yeah, you're like, oh, that's cool, but like, ah, it's so stupid.
I shared this off pod, but I wanted to bring it up again just because it's right at the start of the movie when he kill like one of them or something, and he just goes yes, but does the ka-ching kind of hand
Yep.
gesture.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, just that's all I could think about for like the next 5 minutes was ka-ching from
Yeah.
CBBC.
Yeah. We need to do it. We're doing a bonus episode on that at some point. We have to.
I remember Rude Boy like it was yesterday.
Oh god.
I don't think I've ever seen this show.
Yeah, getting flashbacks.
You missed out. 'Cause it was amazing.
Yeah.
No, it was just on a lot.
It was on
um,
a lot. So much.
I think that is the main kind of thing for kids' TV. Is it's just on.
Yeah, it's on.
You're gonna watch it.
Yeah.
I could not
Uh,
tell you how many times I've seen the same episodes of Fairly Odd Parents.
But yeah, so he kills all the vampires at the nightclub.
Yeah, he
Part
burns
two?
the main one, who then gets taken to a morgue because he's not properly dead. And then the burnt up vampire starts, like, he kills one guy and bites the other woman who becomes a main character. And then the
Yeah.
police show up and start shooting Blade. And his exact line is, "Motherfucker, you out of your damn mind."
Yeah, it's so goofy. This film is so goofy in how much it takes itself seriously.
Yeah.
Also, whenever it's not Wesley Snipes doing a one-liner, everyone is mumbling in this film.
Oh yeah.
I had to turn the sound up and down on this more than any other film I've seen in
you're fighting
so
your volume.
long. To the point, I was like, I could put subtitles on and just give up on trying to hear the people and have them mute, because once it's a fight scene, like
It's
you're
loud.
waiting.
Yeah.
It's intense.
It's 90s grit, this film.
Yeah.
And yeah, part of that is everyone mumbled constantly.
No.
No, you don't know. You don't know who you're dealing with. You're also dead. What? You're also dead. Oh man.
But we
yeah,
also
so-
get flashbacks of Blade with
Blade's
a very
mum.
Blade's mum. We don't know it's Blade's mum at the time, do we?
I mean, it's
It's pretty
it's obvious.
fucking obvious.
I think that might have been one of the times where I didn't turn the volume up because I was like, fuck it. I'll work it out later.
But it's a memory of Blade being pulled away from his mum
Yeah.
when he is born because she got bit by a vampire.
yeah.
Yeah, so she got bit. Was she get bit by pregnant while pregnant?
Well,
by
pregnant, yeah. She was literally like,
Yeah.
because he's then C-sectioned out of there.
He's removed.
Yeah.
And he remembers his own cesarean.
Yep.
Weird.
Vampire memory,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Vampire memory. And then from his timeline, he's like a vampire but doesn't have any. So Blade is cool daywalker vampire.
Yeah.
He doesn't have any of the weaknesses of being a vampire.
Except the
No,
thirst.
but he does
Apart from-
age like a human, though.
Yeah, apart from the bloodthirst. Well, they needed him to age.
Which one
because
could argue is a bit of a downside, Michael?
It's quite a downside, but like he's dealing with it with a serum. We won't tell
Yeah.
you what's in the serum or where he gets it from. But the
Well,
serum.
his colleague makes it.
No, because he goes to collect it from someone else.
Yeah, he gets some of the ingredients for it when he goes garlic shopping.
Yeah. I don't know what's in the serum.
I thought Whistler.
I think
No,
Whistler
someone else
makes
makes
it, but
it.
he helps get he gets the ingredients from some other guy.
I thought the essence. We see him buying essence of garlic, but I thought that was for his mace.
Yeah, that's for his
vampire
mouth spray.
mace.
Yeah.
That's for his anti-mouth spray.
I did really like that, like Chekhov's gun of the mouth spray being
Yeah.
first used on a non-vampire, and then being
Yeah.
like, "What the fuck is that garlic?"
The dumb anti-vampire tools are great.
Yeah, I love that it is like they have really just picked and chosen whatever they wanted for the vampire lore, and been like,
Yeah.
"Nah, the rest of it's bullshit."
He's like, yeah, crosses and running water don't work. Don't believe what you see in the movies.
But
But
garlic.
they're
in
allergic to garlic and silver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Obviously.
anticoagulants too do the opposite and make them explode.
Yeah, it makes too much blood.
Yeah.
And
It
yeah,
makes-
the anticoagulant stuff really tickled me
So-
because
Because, well, she's a blood expert, isn't she? She's
Yeah.
not just like a doctor. She's a
She's a
Hemo-
hematologist. Yeah.
hematologist.
yeah,
that's
hematologist,
what it's called.
phlebotomist. Did
Yeah.
phlebotomists just take blood?
No, they make green
No,
bouncy
those are called
guys.
vampires. Yeah, no, she's a hematologist. She's a blood expert.
Yeah.
So she's like, I understand how they work. I'm trying to work out a cure because at no point in the, I assume like 30 years he's been alive, he wasn't like, maybe I'll find a doctor. Maybe I'll find a
Yeah.
blood expert that can maybe look into this blood virus.
Blade has many strengths.
Yes.
He is
Sounds
not
like he is,
doctor
doesn't it?
material.
No.
No, I feel like she also, because she's been bitten, she wants mainly to make a cure for herself.
Yeah, because her
Yeah.
theory is like she's and they
She's
have
waiting
these
to
two
turn.
like these two tiers as well with the vampires, but with the Blade and the human, she's been turned, whereas he was born.
Yeah.
And it's the same like the vampires as well. It's like, well, they've been the ones that have been turned versus the ones that have been born.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the main bad guy is one that had been turned, because she's like, yeah, you've got a scar, you must have gotten that before you were a vampire.
Yeah, she basically calls him a little bitch for
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
a little
being human.
Fake vampire.
Deacon has the best floppy 90s hair, though.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Deacon is the most 90s man I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like, Deacon Frost as well is a name.
Mm.
That's a hell of a name.
The real good, like, shitty comic book name.
He is one of... So, Deacon Frost is the main villain. He is one
Mhm.
of the vampire lords.
Yeah. Who all
Um,
get their own unique tattoos.
Yeah, they have their own mark.
Yeah, because then they can tattoo their,
Like sex traffickers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, weirdly
they
enough,
tattoo their familiars so that if another vampire, like, bites their
Yeah,
familiar,
vampire
they can
can't
be like, oh,
eat
fuck
from
you.
them. And all the vampire lords also get their own unique accent.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Most of them vaguely European. Some of them vaguely Slavic. That's about all of the accents the vampires are given.
I don't remember them talking, to be honest.
They talk a lot in this
They talk a
film.
bit, but they're normally subtitled when they do.
Yeah.
Oh
Um,
yeah, they talk. Is it Latin that they speak in,
I had no idea.
or like
Don't
old vampiric or something?
Old vampire.
Well, they're
I
trying to
think, isn't it?
translate the ancient vampire text to bring back
Yes.
the blood god.
on a
Yeah.
computer that I love. By the way, films at this point.
They've
computers
commissioned
were
one
like-
animation and they
Just-
play it like 12 times.
No, I like that there's a program that you press a key on and it just goes translating and has a bar for that.
Yep.
That's just filling out and then it's just like translation complete.
Well,
not-
it's quite. It looks like quite complicated image recognition software where it's
Yeah.
pulling the individual characters off the scanned in sheets of
skin, I imagine.
Yeah.
skin. Yeah, it's definitely human skin that's got blood. It's written in blood, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mhm. I mean, I'm wondering how the Duolingo owl knows that language, but you'll never know.
No, it's the bat Duolingo.
Yeah. Duolingo, but a bat. But a vampire bat. But they're like fucking. It's just like scanning a load of images
Yeah.
Yeah.
and going translating from what into what we don't know, because what it does is it translates a load of a language that we're never quite described into an animation.
Yeah.
Which killed me. I couldn't stop giggling at the thought of this AI machine program Anna spending what looks like years analyzing words and converting them into a neat little animation.
Yeah, an animation that tells them so the computer translates it, understands the concept of what it's translating,
Yeah.
and then makes that into an animation to show the vampires what to do to summon the old
The blood
vampire
god.
god.
The blood god.
Blood god.
Yeah. That makes sense. Right?
I mean, yeah, fuck it. It
We
makes
can do
about
that.
no
It makes sense for the film.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It
It doesn't make sense for the film, Dan. Let's not lie.
It's kind of it's that
it's-
brilliant 90s techno babble that just isn't trying to make sense.
No, it's
Exactly.
not.
So like if there's a screen and we put something kind of computery on the screen, people will buy it. Like
People
no
will
one's
go,
gonna
"Ooh."
think about it.
You're
It's
just trying to go,
translating it
"Okay."
directly from the mainframe.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's a bit where he pulls out a hard drive just straight from
Yeah,
the
just
computer.
rips a hard drive out of a
I
computer.
was like,
yeah.
No, don't do that. Bad Wesley
Hey,
Snipes.
that
The thing is going to be
translated-
so corrupted.
Yeah, that nice little animation that translator spent years working on.
That is not going to be
It's
any good now.
ruined. It's ruined. Oh man, you're just gonna get an error page come up. It's gonna be bad. But yeah, they're just so the woman and Blade team up.
Yeah, so she's going to try and find a cure before she's turned, because they don't spell out how long it takes to turn, but then it's like at the rate she's going, she has like a day or so.
Yeah. And then she doesn't turn for a couple days.
Yeah. And
And we
I
kind of
really
forget
liked
about
at
that.
the start when Whistler's injecting the serum into Bane, not Bane.
Bane. Ooh, boy,
different
vampire.
comic book. Into Blade, and he's holding his hand at the same time,
Bored. Yeah.
and like helping him through it. It's really sweet.
Yeah.
As whenever I've had to have like local anaesthetic, I've always had a nurse hold my hand.
Yeah.
When they inject the serum into you.
Yeah,
Just the
to
serum.
control my bloodlust. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's having trouble because are you also building up an immunity to the bloodlust? To
Yes.
the serum?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
problem.
what you need is a Dr. Karen Jensen to help you make a new one.
Yeah.
And instead try
budget
an
cuts.
anticoagulant that explodes blood.
Yeah. It kills people. Which they don't use enough. That feels like a super weapon against vampires, and they use it like twice.
They use it twice, and then, I mean, they do use it to absolutely fuck up the main bad guy at the
That's
end.
true.
So.
But
Yeah, I was
we'll
gonna
get to
say,
that.
like it's very new considering like the time frame for this film is like what 3 days.
Yeah.
Can't
like-
fucking dip bullets in that shit. Like, I don't care.
Mm.
They only need a little bit.
Yeah, I thought that's what they were doing at first, just filling bullets with it.
It makes too much blood. It forces them to have too much blood in their body. And that seems to be
It
what
turns
that
them into
does.
like full on hubba bubba chewing
Yeah.
gum.
They look like something
Yeah.
out of Spy Kids.
Yeah. Oh fuck the animation.
The animation is right from the first. Just the skeletons when they're being. It is. It's worse than
They're fine 'cause
Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah.
They're fine because they're quick. Like
They're really
the
quick.
vampire
Yeah,
cutting
yeah,
off
you
is
don't linger
pretty
on them.
quick. They don't linger on any of the animations early on. It's only about halfway through where you start getting long animations.
Yeah. I do like
They
they
are
use a good amount of
bad.
practical effects and stuff as well, though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then
that's
they
fine.
use all the practical effects on Pearl.
Yeah.
Oh god, can we talk about? So
Oh,
they
s-
try and find. They need to find out where the translation's coming from.
Yeah,
coming
they,
from a
they
vampire called Pearl.
yeah. They do this by like chasing down a police officer who's actually a familiar, and they
Yeah.
do a car chase which is like sped up.
Can we?
Oh my
way
god,
too
the car
badly.
chase!
Can
It's
we-
like it's not fast cars. It's just the footage is obviously sped up and it was terrible. But
Yeah.
Blade's car, it's fucking sick.
Yeah, oh yeah, Blitz's car's amazing, but the chase scene is awful. It's like could they not get permission to speed or something on
No.
those streets? So they
Well,
speed
no.
up.
When you film cars can be going real fast. When you film them, they look slow.
Yeah, I guess
Like-
it's just not as refined as what we're used to.
No, because people worked out how to. You never see a car chase from a distance in a film unless
Yeah.
it's like really far. You never see like a mid shot of a car chase because cars look slow when they're being filmed. We've learned to cut around it,
Yeah.
but cars just look slow. So they might have been going really fast and they didn't realize. They went like, ah, shit.
It looks, no matter what they thought
Oh no,
was
it's
going on
dire.
with it,
It's dire.
It's a terrible car chase because it's because it's not smooth. I guess we're used to. I think we're quite spoiled now, but even like older James Bonds and that when they've done car chases, like
Yeah.
you work around it. And this one, it's like, no, we'll just speed it up to make them look faster.
Yeah,
but they're
and it's
jiggling
sort of like
around something.
It's got sort of handheld camera movements, so it's just very exaggerated.
Yeah.
Like,
Which is why
It's
we've
got that
preferred steady
early
cam.
days of cinema, not quite the right speed.
yeah,
Well, it's like the people making it didn't have any experience making, like, they didn't know all the things you shouldn't do when filming a car, like using steady.
Yeah,
like,
you
steadying
need
the
a steady
camera.
cam for that.
So if you are speeding the footage up, it won't look weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fucking bizarre.
yeah. But then they get to Pearl, who is just this.
Yeah, she's like
huge...
he's like in a basement of this.
Yeah.
Like, is it a Japanese club?
Yeah, it's a very weird Japanese club, and the entrance is like in a freezer.
Yeah.
And they've got these weird like Japanese schoolgirls singing, and it's very just.
It's very strange.
Ugh.
And Wesley Snipes his plan is to go there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They go in there. They've got a big UV torch because UV light also kills
vampires.
Well,
Which
he
I
uses
love.
torch
He's
light.
like, oh, it's so heavy, and I'm just like, yeah. Remember the days before LEDs?
Yeah.
Life would be so much. It'd be so easy to kill a vampire now.
Well, yeah. Now you just fit some bloody daylight bulbs in your house.
Yeah. Oh,
And just nap with a blindfold on. They won't get near you.
yeah. Just fucking get a tanning bed and just open.
Well,
it.
no. To be fair, he does go in the sun.
He does. Yeah. Oh yeah. No, that's a great scene. I love when Frost's in the daylight.
Just
great.
in the
Yeah.
sun.
Just
'Cause he's
tasty
got
as fuck because he's got loads of sun cream on.
We'll
sun cream
There's
on.
more about that scene that I want to get to. Can we finish talking
Yeah.
about Pearl and this?
Oh,
Yeah, so
horrible
Pearl
scene?
is vile. He looks. I mean, I thought it was a girl. Pearl.
Yeah.
Well, one, because the name's Pearl,
Yeah.
but two, because of the enormous man boobs. Because
Yeah.
Pearl is more whale than.
And the voice.
Yeah.
It's very strange.
Yeah.
And I
But
guess
they-
it's just down there and doesn't move and watches
Yeah,
but in control of the translation.
Yeah. Was watching this program translate into a nice animation. And may have been down there making the animation. We don't know. Pearl is just this character that's kind of not needed.
Yeah. It's just one of them weird, like, oh, this is probably a design of something in the comic book that
Yeah.
we can kind of.
Was it in the comic?
I don't know.
Probably.
People would have been furious if Pearl wasn't in the Blade film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they torture Pearl with like the UV rays to get information from it, and then there's a
And
door,
then-
and they manage to get into the archive room.
Yeah, considering Karen's a doctor that has definitely taken the Hippocratic Oath and everything, she is down to straight up torture Pearl.
Technically,
Yeah, it's a
that-
vampire.
And she looks like she's enjoying it.
the Doctor's is full on into the vampire story immediately.
Yeah. There's no
Like, there's no
questioning it. But to be fair, she
hesitation.
did get bit by one, so
But she goes from like vampires aren't real to I'm gonna kill these vampires immediately.
yeah.
She
Well, I
gets
guess
over,
her options are that or die.
true, but she kind of gets over the fear of killing vampires quite quickly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think she's for a 90s character literally called Karen.
Yeah,
She's not bad.
no, she's quite a good character.
Like she
She
has
just-
a bit of autonomy, and she isn't always a
Yeah.
damsel in distress. Like
She's
she
never,
saves Blade.
yeah, she's never really. The only time she's dabbling in dress is at the beginning.
Yeah.
She's never really at since.
When he,
Great.
oh yeah, right at the start when he yeets her out the window.
Yeah.
And the police just keep shooting at them, even though he's holding a doctor.
Yep.
Yeah. But the police are owned by the vampires.
Oh yeah, of course.
It's not
As we
just,
later
what
learn.
American police normally do.
But yeah, she's black.
yeah.
Well, they both are.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. The police is opening fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is when we find out about the Vampire.
Yep. Blade
Which
slices
is
that
this-
guy's hand off again.
It's
guy
displayed in
vampire.
this really nice way for like a
Yeah.
like
Really
a gallery,
elaborate.
really
way.
elaborate gallery installation where each panel is like between two pieces of glass and suspended from the
I-
ceiling.
I love
And they
how
immediately
it's-
destroy it.
No, I love how that scene is. That room is set up like it's this important piece of vampire history. Like this is the vampire Bible.
Yeah,
On
it's
like
the only copy.
any other film, they'd be like, "This is on such fragile human skin. It is the only. We're not allowed to make copies of it. It is the Bible." This film, they're straight up like, it's smashed. The whole room is smashed
Smash it all, blow it up.
immediately.
Yeah, because there's a vampire called Quinn, which is the one that got burnt at the start,
Yeah.
and so he sort
There's
of
a
sticks a
Taekwondo.
couple of stakes in Blade's shoulders to try and be
Yeah.
like, yeah, this is what you did to me earlier.
Well, you get the martial arts vampires who
Yeah.
keep turning up whenever there needs to be a martial arts fight.
I mean, the fight
Uh,
scenes in this are pretty good, to be fair.
Fight scenes are great. The fight
Yeah.
scenes are great. It's just funny that there's this set of vampires that never get killed because they need to be used later for more fight scenes. Every other vampire gets killed apart from these like 6 Asian guys who keep turning up whenever there needs to be fight scenes.
Yeah.
I love that. The entire... It's just great. They never get killed. It's wonderful.
No.
Hmm.
But yeah, Abe ends up kind of like exploding in, shoots everyone. They escape
Yeah.
into like the train subway tunnels.
Yeah,
Oh, I hated this bit.
it was weird. It was a...
Like,
It-
I don't know about you, Mikey, but growing up, like, near a train station where, like, going to a school where, like, at least a third of the kids took the train to school,
Yeah.
we regularly had the don't walk
Oh, yeah,
on the
you had-
tracks talk or you will die.
Yeah, you had train
Hmm.
safety conversations, like things in class constantly.
Did you have that at your school, Dan?
Not really, but I kind of knew not to. There's not as many trains and that up in Coventry.
Yeah, I was
so-
going to say, like,
Yeah.
it was, I don't know if that's, like, local to us or was, like, if every
Yeah.
kid gets has to watch, like, the traumatic video. And then we were told really visceral stories about, like, kids being, like,
Yeah.
literally they find, like, the head on one side of the tracks and the body on the other side.
Oh, they had that for us with like a driving safety thing. They're like, here's a picture of a van that's crashed and the guy's legs are in the car and his body's over
Yeah.
there. And I'm like, I wonder why I don't want to learn to drive.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we had that with trains, and it was
Yeah,
like,
we-
you'd watch
we
that
had a
also
choice.
Quicksand
You'd watch
was the
that
other
and then
thing.
you'd have to get the train home.
Yeah.
yeah, you watch so much stuff about because they're like, don't touch the third rail.
Yeah, because
Mhm.
we still have the fucking third rail in Kent as well, because
Yep.
why not?
That'll kill
Who
you.
needs trains when it's wet
There was also
Snowing.
like,
in England?
yeah, there was also like that the thing. I don't know if you had this, but there was that thing of like, because it's countryside and there are just train tracks that go through like woodland.
Yeah, how to cross a train track safely
Yeah, there's also
at
like,
a point.
if you're not paying attention, you can just end up on a train track and not realize it.
Yeah,
because they are
easier to do in a car. Like some of the ones near our school that were like, yeah, on just crossing country lanes,
Yeah,
and it'd be like you had to call and ask if there was a train coming, and then
Yeah.
you could cross. Once they
Yeah.
were like, yeah, no train.
because there was just a load of videos where it was like, yeah, don't like always pay attention because you could just step out onto a train track and have no. We had a lot of train safety shit.
Yeah. I mean, the thing I think, like, trains are pretty loud, though. You'd think you'd hear them coming.
Eh,
But,
No,
yeah.
I don't-
I
I
suppose
don't
and you're
I
wearing
don't know
if bus-
headphones.
if the
I don't
bus
know if
from
that
Mean
really-
Girls is anything to go by, then...
that driver deserves to be in prison. I don't know if that reaction from Ilona was like baked in fear from all of the school stuff, but you just go in. Trains are loud. You don't have to pay that much attention. It's like, no, Dan.
No, yeah,
Actually,
yeah.
I think you'll find trains are actually quite dangerous, Dan. Here, let
Yeah.
me show you these 45 videos.
Hey, I love that train safety.
Hey, I love that
video.
train safety hour.
No, I'm sure they're on YouTube, and I'm sure like they'll be
Yeah.
really shit to watch.
But yeah, they do the train scene.
Yeah.
Where it's just
Quinn
them-
gets his arm cut off again and his face
Yeah.
smashed into the train, and
Oh, that bit I enjoyed. That I
Yeah.
thought was really funny.
it was a like less visceral version of Invincible.
But they
Yeah,
also...
his face gets like absolutely shredded on
Yeah.
just the side,
Yeah.
and they don't really show it, so you just see his like front face come a bit loose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then at the end, it's a very long train, and then they just jump onto the back of it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that as well, just because Karen at the time is like, no, we are not fucking doing it, and
What
he's
are
just
you
like,
doing?
yoink!
Yeah, and then they get on the train, and no one on the train cares, which is the most accurate.
Well, there
part
doesn't
of
seem
this
to be
film.
anyone on the train. It's like
I-
the last carriage.
I
Yeah,
imagine
the
they
last
moved
carriage
up.
is empty, but when he's smashing his face against it, there's very obviously points where there are people inside of the train.
Yeah.
Imagine you're sitting
Oh, yeah.
on the train
No.
on the way home from work, and suddenly you just see a guy's face in the window
Yeah,
for a
you
split
keep
second in a
that
tunnel.
shit.
Like, I am not
Terrifying.
pressing emergency stop. I need to get
You
home.
Keep that shit to yourself, and you don't make eye contact. No one comments, and you don't make eye contact. Those
Yeah,
are
to
the
be fair, I
rules.
probably wouldn't have noticed.
I think if I was a tunnel and I saw a face for a split second, I'd just think that I was seeing things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, long day at work. I mean, I don't normally see people. I'd see, like, spreadsheets.
Scary.
Ooh, spooky vampire spreadsheets. But yeah, they've just fucking. And then I forgot what happens next. This film's so fast.
Well, isn't
Yeah.
it then we have the they go back to their lab and then they go to meet hairdo. What's his name?
Deacon, yeah.
Deacon
Deacon.
Frost.
Frost. Yeah.
Oh no, this is where you find out Whistler has cancer.
Yeah.
Karen's got a couple of days before she turns, and then Blade is just outside and sees Deacon holding a child.
Yeah.
Oh,
he's
yeah.
out there with a
The
child.
best scene because he fucking eats that child so
No.
far.
Do you know what?
It
do you know what the-
teases that they're going to yeet the child for so long, though.
do you know what the
And then he
best
eats
thing?
the child.
Do you know the best thing about that scene is though?
What?
Well, there's three good things about that scene. Number one,
Is I
yeeting
think
the child.
Yeah.
Yeeting the child is great. Number two, the argument that the reason why Deacon can be out in the sun is because he's just got a shit ton of sunscreen on.
yeah, he's so
He's
pale.
He's just dripping in sunscreen. Which I
And
think
he
is-
does look
brilliant.
greasy.
Yeah.
yeah, it's so incredibly stupid because it makes him so much less intimidating. When you'd be like, oh, he'd be so slippery.
Oh, yeah, it's like, oh, you're trying to be really scary, but you smell like coconut.
That's
He
the real
just-
reason Blade can't kill him, is because every time he tries to, he slides
God,
past him.
He's so slippery. And the third best thing about that scene is that ultimately this is two guys, one of them greased up in sunscreen, and the other guy in all black leather trench coat with a sword. Fucking weeb guy. Just in a
And
park somewhere.
no one reacts to it.
But they're in a
No.
park somewhere, mumbling at each other from across the two ends of the park.
Yeah, I can't tell you what the dialogue was in this
Oh, I
section.
see what they were saying. I love that idea so much that no one interrupted them.
Yeah.
It's
And then he
just-
throws the child. Like, whose parents? Like, the parents of that
Child
child
is
have not
this?
tried to look at all.
I
The
don't think
child
the parents are
gets
there.
No.
No.
I think the child's
they-
intercepted on the way home from school or something.
They
Hmm.
tried to stop him, but he was too greased up.
Yeah.
He was too slippery with all that sunscreen.
Um,
That scene ends because he's sweating the sunscreen off.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so he has to throw the child and run.
He
And then
eats the
Blade's
child.
doing something and then goes back to
Oh, we have
Deacon-
the Matrix bullet dodge as well, although
Yeah.
it's less cool because it's not the Matrix, and also
bullet
he's
dodge,
so
then yeet child. Yeah.
Vampire
Bullet dodge.
speedy.
in your sunscreen.
Yeah. Just
he didn't even need to dodge. The bullets would simply slide off his greasy
slide
skin.
off his greasy skin. And
I mean, if
they
it can block lethal sunlight, it can probably block bullets.
Can you imagine a police call at the end of that? It's like this guy started shooting. What was he doing? Well, he was in all black, and he was kind of just stood there mumbling, whilst this other guy who was greased up was mumbling back, and then he just opened fire,
And so he threw a child.
and so he threw a child. What happened? I don't know. Oh, I love that scene so much. That's such a microcosm of Blade.
Yeah, because after this is then Deacon finds out where Blade's lair is.
Yeah.
And when Blade returns, Karen's been kidnapped and Whistler is like bleeding out.
And just
And they-
manages
they-
to mumble something at the end.
Yeah, he's like, give me a gun so I can shoot myself
Oh.
before I turn. And they also find out that he's trying to resurrect the blood god.
I think you'll find what Whistler says is,
Blade, your blood is the key. You're a half vampire. Blah, 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 blah.
you're the chosen one.
But then Blade kind of gets ready to go and fight a fuckload of vampires. He makes loads of anticoagulant syringes and silver bullets and stuff.
He does what? Sorry, you kept breaking up then, and I heard he's getting
Oh.
ready to fight a fuckload of vampires in jizz.
Oh, I had
Did you say?
syringes.
Okay.
Yeah, syringes. Yeah, he gets the anticoagulant syringes. Yeah.
Yep. I heard in jizz. I don't remember that scene.
Um,
Is that why he was all greased up?
yeah. It's not sunscreen.
Great sunscreen, great UV protection.
But anyway, Blade just flies in on a motorbike, starts shooting loads of people.
Yep.
And then they taser Blade, and Blade's mum's there.
I love that Frost is like, why am I hearing gunshots? Don't shoot him.
Yeah, because he
Blade
needs
is
him
a-
alive.
Blade is a vampire, and at no point does it even suggest that bullets hurt vampires.
Like regular bullets, no. Also, does he not think that maybe Blade is shooting at them?
Yeah, Blade
The
might.
thing Blade has done several times in the past.
Yeah, but he's got his sword.
I guess it's like Blade can die, and he's got that mortality, and he can bleed, but he also has the vampire, like, he heals really quickly.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
he's not like Immortal in that if you shoot him through the chest, he'll be fine. It's if you shoot him through the chest, get the bullet out, and get the bleeding to stop, he'll be fine.
We fucking forgot a great scene, and that is true. Like he isn't immortal. He's just like hard to kill. We forgot a great scene where one of the Frost is killing one of the like vampire lords by putting him out in the sun.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, and they're all wearing motorcycle
They're
gear.
wearing helmets. I'm just like, that's such a funny. This film really was like, let's think of as many ways as possible we can make them survive
Yeah.
the sun.
They're like,
Big
yeah.
umbrella.
Turn up. Yeah, we've got sunscreen tick, Daft Punk tick.
Big
Parasol.
umbrellas.
Save that for the next one.
A vampire carrying a massive parasol. It's so funny. Oh man, that's great.
Yeah,
Just a load of vampires in public with a gazebo.
They find it really difficult to get put the gazebo up in time. They've got to hammer the little stakes into the ground, but they're terrified.
Scary. It's really scary. But it's the only way they can meet up as a group outside.
Yeah, we find out that Deacon is the vampire that bit Blade's mum, and Blade's mum
Yeah.
is alive and still a vampire and an evil vampire.
Yeah, in
So-
the worst bed I think I've ever seen.
Yeah,
He has a bed that like puts you in a capsule and then lifts you up.
it's not a good looking bed at all.
It looks so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And it's always full of steam and smoke.
Mm.
It's always full
Yeah,
of mist.
I mean the bed's upsetting, but the mum is more upsetting.
Oh yeah, the mum
Yeah.
is.
I think because they're trying to do like MILF vibes, but when the only other character in the scene is her son,
yeah,
that does not work.
Yeah.
No.
It's very icky, very, very, very icky.
And she's just like, and we don't know enough about her to be like bothered.
Yeah,
By
because
it.
we don't build. The only thing we know about is that she's Blade's mum, and
Yeah.
we thought she was dead, but she'd actually been turned.
Yeah, and that's it. And he doesn't really seem to care that much.
Yeah, he's like,
And it's obviously a long time ago because I mean I cannot tell what age Wesley Snipes is playing in this.
Yeah, no. Wesley
It's
Snipes
not-
is-
Well, it was the first scene was 1967, and then it went to 1998,
Okay.
so 31, if my maths is right.
okay.
But,
Yeah, no, like he doesn't know who is. It's so we don't care really
Yeah.
who his mum is. The most we've seen of her is a single flashback.
Yeah,
Yeah. No, we see
That's it.
the same flashback twice.
Yeah, that's it.
yeah, because
Um,
Blade's then very shocked, and then literally shocked,
Yeah.
because they capture him. And
But
then,
she like kisses him.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Like she doesn't full on snog him, but like
Oh no, it's
It's-
weird.
it's yeah. I didn't.
Vampires are the most bisexual of all monsters.
yeah. There's that scene where like Deacon kills the familiar guy, like drinks his blood, and then starts making out with the other
Yeah.
vampire, and they just got
Yeah.
blood on their mouths, and it was disgusting.
They're the most horny of all monsters. I
Bar
think.
satyrs.
Satyrs are more like a fairy
They're
tale
yeah,
creature.
yeah, they're mythical.
Out of like monster movie monsters, vampires are definitely the most horny.
Yeah, well, it's because of the whole like they seduce.
Seduct. No, seduct.
Yeah, same, yeah.
They subtract people.
Because they are seductive
Yeah.
and seduce. people. I know
Yeah.
English. I've got a degree in English.
Yeah, and Russian, but we
Just can't talk
get to see
good.
that.
Oh yeah, well yeah, yeah. That old chestnut.
Yeah, it's the
Um,
reason we're doing a movie podcast.
Yeah, but not a language podcast.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like, yeah, they're just very, very horny monsters.
But it's the kinky, but this
Yeah.
isn't even kinky. This is just weird incest.
Yep, it's weird. Oh, it's very
Mm.
weird.
She does look quite similar to Karen as well,
Mm-hmm.
and that did confuse me for a second because I'd kind of, we know about the mum, but we'd kind of forgotten. But I thought they'd somehow captured Karen
And turned her into a
and
full
turned,
vampire.
and she
Yeah.
turned in that time and
There is a
switched.
moment-
But then because we've only seen her mum's face twice, and like it's totally different as well. We see her having just had a C-section, covered in blood and sweaty, and on the operating table in
Yeah.
scrubs, and then we see her like
Normal,
fully made up,
horny
like,
vampire mode.
Yeah. So I was like, "Oh, what's going on?" And,
They wear vampires wear so much leather. You don't
love
they don't have
flesh.
to go with that aesthetic.
yeah, but it works for them. You've got to give them
That's
that.
true. I guess if you're that pale, you're kind of limited on what colour choices.
I did
Although-
like in the rave scene at the start, everyone's wearing either all black or all white, and then obviously the ones in white get absolutely drenched in blood.
Yep, that is good. That just happened in Germany. That's just a German nightclub. But yeah, the mum thing is fucking bizarre. As like a choice to make.
Like, see
And
her being if they want to make her sexy, see her
With-
being sexy
with
with someone
Frost.
else. With
With
Frost.
Frost,
Like, that would
that's
still be
way
icky.
more intense.
Because it's like, oh, it's Wesley Snipes' mum, but you don't have the ickiness of her being like so
Yeah.
close to his mouth.
That's icky and like, oh, Frost is a villain.
And it's like,
Hmm.
I get that Wesley Snipes is in shock. Blade,
It's just-
we can call him Blade if you want.
It's just
But
such
it's-
a weird.
Oh.
It's such a weird scene.
Yeah.
A weird thing to add to the film that really didn't need to. It doesn't add anything. His mum being there.
It's like it's like a very much worse and abrupt version of Back to the Future.
Yeah.
It just doesn't add anything to the film.
No.
Other than, I don't know, it doesn't even make you feel more like involved. It's just weird. It's just weird. It's just
No.
weird.
Like,
But-
damn, his mum's hot, but
Yeah.
she doesn't. And he stabs her. She's
Yeah, he
like,
kills
you
her
can't,
pretty
you couldn't kill me, your mommy.
Later.
Hmm.
That's
Well, that's a bit late because so he gets captured because he's distracted by his mum. So he gets captured, put into the thing because they can then drain his blood to resurrect the blood god.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thankfully
well,
we know what's going to
Karen-
happen because they show us like the animation about 12 times.
Yeah.
So
luckily
we
that
know it's coming.
animation was really, really specific.
Yeah, it was pretty spot on.
Quite surprisingly
Yeah.
accurate.
Karen is like thrown into a pit with her now sort of vampire bloodlusty ex-boyfriend, and she manages to just stab him with a bone and climb out.
He doesn't actually seem that much of a threat.
No.
Yeah, he's kind of he's a bit messed up from
He's
the being
mad.
turned. Yeah.
Hmm.
Like he's clearly like just not had blood and just been left
Yeah.
in a hole. But he doesn't seem like he seems like he's just kind of lost. I feel a bit
Hmm.
sorry for him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
like-
yes, he's just been thrown into this pit so that later on Karen can be thrown into that pit as well.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah,
Um,
he absolutely lacks the context that she has for
Yeah.
the situation. So I think it makes sense that he's a
Yeah.
bit lost.
Yeah, but she managed to break Blade out,
She
but
gets
it's too
out.
late. The blood already drips down onto.
Onto the
Deacon.
vampires in waiting.
Yeah.
Well, there's like
Yeah.
a circle of vampire elders
Oh yeah, and they all
Who
get the drips on them, and then
all
Deacon
have
gets the
vampire.
main one.
They
They have the cool gargoyle shoot out of them.
We'll get to the fucking ending of this.
Yeah.
This is where the film starts to go a bit off the rails.
Yep. Blade kills his. Karen's like, here, you've drained of blood. Drink some of my blood.
Drained my blood. And then we have the most uncomfortable
Yeah, that scene went for
25
way
to
too long.
30 minutes of this film. Where it's cut between the blood dripping on the vampires' heads
Yeah,
and
and
no,
then they're getting
not even that.
electrocuted.
Not even that. The blood like forming on the
Yeah.
dome at the top of the thing before it falls onto Frost, who is stood in the middle of these like vampires with blood on them. It's cutting between that and like the same 2 to 3 shots
Yeah,
of Blade drinking blood. because it's the same like 3 shots repeated.
Yeah,
is
it
kind of
happens
hot,
a
though.
lot.
It goes on for so, and they like these weird jerking motions.
I guess you think that he's lost control and he's just going to kill her.
Well,
Um,
I thought the jerking motions were like the heartbeat. Like if she's like pulsing blood into his mouth.
Oh, I thought it was
But
her dying.
But it's got like sex scene vibes.
It very well, yeah. Again, it's the like
Horny
sex side,
vampire.
horny vampire sex. Drinking someone's
Yeah.
blood is ultimately very intimate.
True. I don't know actually.
Not tried it.
When I did it, it wasn't that intimate.
That's because you only drink strangers' blood.
Oh, I'm not going to drink a friend's blood. That's. Have you ever tried? I don't want to ask people to get me like a coffee when they go out. I don't want to ask to drink their blood. That'd be awkward.
Oh my god, you starve to death as a vampire because you're too polite to ask anyone.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's an uncomfortable scene that feels like it goes on for 30 to 40 minutes.
That goes on for ages, and then Blade just immediately kills his mum.
Yeah, it goes on
He-
for
what
ages.
he
kills
goes, like,
Quinn
he-
so quick as well.
We see the vampire, like his very much vampire side comes out in full.
Yeah. He
force
becomes
when
a
he
fully
drinks.
vicious Blade, yeah.
I
And
think
his
what
eyes
bothers
are
me.
bright.
I think what bothers me about that scene so much is it's so long and so much time and effort is put onto it. I say effort, it's the same 3 shots over and over again. And there's no consequences to it other than he's strong now.
Yeah, he's strong and she's not weaker. She still manages
Yeah.
to like get the shotgun and fight quite well.
She's the exact same as she was before he bit
Yeah.
her. Like,
Yeah.
it's not
I,
like
she
I
was a
guess
bit
I,
weaker, it makes
I
sense.
prefer that though, rather than her suddenly being something he has to save.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
I guess so,
I think if you lost most of your blood very quickly, you'd at least be a bit woozy.
Yeah.
I mean I donate my blood and it's fine.
Is it forcibly removed from you by a vampire tongue teeth?
I mean
Blade.
that's how I imagine it.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, she only shoots a couple of people, and then when they try and do the needed in the 90s girl fight, she does just immediately spray garlic into the other one's mouth.
Oh, my favorite.
Girl
So yeah,
fight, yeah.
Yeah.
fight breaks out, and then yeah, you have the ultimate girl fight of this type of film, which is oddly specific, but also happens so often. Is normal girl, underpowered girl fighting much stronger, more well trained girl with maybe superpowers, dressed in white.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's very specific, and it's so common that they're like dressed in white.
Yeah. But yeah, she ends up just immediately spraying the garlic spray into her mouth, and her head
Yeah.
explodes.
Yeah.
And then it's after killing all the little side vampires, it's Blade versus Deacon.
Well, he finally gets to kill the Asian vampires.
Yeah.
They turn up again here, and he fights them again, whilst fighting all the other vampires.
Yeah. So he's sort of fighting Deacon. At one point, he like cuts Deacon in half, and like he just kind of immediately heals because he's the
That
blood god
scene
now.
was so
Oh.
funny. Yeah.
And the arm regrowing as well. Like
This is now where the CG takes over, because
Yeah.
before this there were flying vampire bat.
yeah, like
so
gargoyle
yeah,
things that are
when all
going.
when all the bloods finally come through and the electricity starts, all the blood that has dripped down onto them like is the conductor for this electricity. So
Yeah.
it looks like one of those like the inside of one of those old science toys that you could get where you put your fingers on it.
Yeah, big thingy coil, yeah. A plasma ball.
Cool. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what they're called.
That's
I'm
what
glad you didn't leave it as thingy.
Plasma ball. I was like Tesla coil. That's not a Tesla coil. Plasma ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's stupid.
Yeah, they have weird like bone gargoyles fly out of them, and then they all fly into Deacon, so he's now the
Into
blood
Deacon.
god.
with his glowing eyes.
Yeah.
Still mumbling though.
Oh yeah.
Still can't talk
Um,
at a normal volume.
So they have a pretty fucking sick sword fight.
Do they? Is it?
Well, it's like movie good, like you
That's
know.
true. But there's
It's
so much- this
entertaining.
there is so much just shit CGI.
The
There
CGI
is.
at this point is funny,
But
in my
Because
opinion.
Cuts his arm off and it flies off and just kind
Yeah.
of disintegrates. Cuts him in half and he kind of reforms.
reforms,
Like,
yeah, the
The
arm grows
reforming
back.
bit is amazing though, because
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
like cuts him in half and he like the two bits go flying, but the blood stays there and then it just sort of
Yeah.
sucks
Yeah.
back
Just seals
together.
back, yeah. That bit's good, but then yeah, when it's got the close up of the blood just forming a new arm, That was
Yeah.
definitely like, ooh.
So bad.
But then after fighting, Blade ends up just throwing a shitload of the anticoagulant things.
Into
Oh yeah,
him.
we forgot
Into him.
the anticoagulant scene where she discovers that anticoagulants make vampire blood explode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Deacon thinks it's the serum, so he throws it, and then it's conveniently in a place that Blade can use it during this fight.
Well, he manages to he yeets his sword up there,
Yeah,
and because the sword still has its booby trap set,
yeah, it
it-
dislodges it.
and
And then he throws them all, and then you get a line, I would say, better than the Toad line from X-Men.
oh yeah,
The best fucking line in movie history. Some motherfuckers are always trying to ice skate uphill, and then he just fucking
yeah.
explodes.
It's nonsense. It's utter nonsense at
Like,
that point.
I knew
It's
that
such
was
a
a
good
quote
line,
from. I
but
knew
it
it was a
makes
quote from
no
Blade. But
sense.
it doesn't make sense where it is in the movie.
Does that mean? Yeah, I remember hearing that line and being like, "The fuck does that mean? What the hell is that?"
like it would make
Yeah,
sense if
he
it was
just-
like, oh, he's doing this guy's only interested in doing it the hard way, but like,
Yeah.
Oh,
no,
some
that's not what's going on in this. Like, that's not what
Only
I'm
No.
saying.
to
Or,
ice
some sort of
skate
blood
uphill.
joke because
Yeah.
the blood god is now having too much blood and explodes very
So
viscerally.
much quicker. Blood for the blood god, like something.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
fucking. some
Yeah,
motherfuckers.
take your
Yeah.
medicine, bitch. But
Like
the
the
dialogue,
ice
it
skate
stems from really
hill.
good but random lines like that.
Yeah, that was not good.
So motherfucker, are you out of your damn mind?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
And,
then,
you better wake up. The world you live in is just sugar coated topping.
Yeah.
but, yeah, but they're like in context. They're
Yeah.
always and they make sense. Motherfuckers always trying to ice skate uphill in other than like,
Like,
At
it's a
an
good way
ice
of saying
rink.
they're just choosing the hard way, I guess.
but at no point do they choose the hard way.
No.
Yeah.
Like they are not choosing the hard way to do anything.
Uh,
There's very clearly an animation showing that this is the only way to do this.
yeah. But yeah, after he explodes, Blade and Karen manage to get out into the sunlight, and
Yeah.
he's like, don't make me a cure, because I've still got vampires to kill, but you can make me a better serum.
I
And
still
then-
got shit to do.
It cuts to Moscow.
Yeah. Using that Russian degree here, guys. I didn't need those subtitles.
There's a Russian vampire, and you get the amazing cut to credits of Blade just fucking taking his sword out, about to charge, and then it just cuts. It, like, in the good way of this happening,
Well,
not the
he
shit way of
went-
Amazing
He
Spider-Man.
just kind of says comrade and then
Yeah.
he launches himself at him.
Well, I guess it's the idea that in Russia they don't know about Blade.
Yeah.
But also he went to Russia to find motherfuckers trying to ice skate uphill.
I mean, Russia's probably one of those places where you would find that.
Yeah, that's why he went there.
It was actually a sequel tease line.
Yeah.
But
It's
yeah, like the
nonsense.
just point at
Cool.
which it cuts to credits of just
Yeah.
the music hits
It's-
Wesley Snipes as Blade just comes like just
Blade is the ultimate
Oh.
like 90s action movie. Like
Yeah.
every 90s action movie trope it's got techno, it's got big black coats, it's got blood, it's got like
Gore.
German rave scene, it's got gore, it's got one-liners, it's dark, everyone mumbles.
everyone's saying
There's-
motherfucker.
There's a guy in
there's
so
like
much
literal
sunscreen.
like boss music whenever there's
Yeah.
gonna be a fight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a guy in so much sunscreen.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'm so
there
glad I
is
watched
Sam-
this. This
where-
film fucking
where-
rules.
I
Where did
had so
Frost-
much fun watching it. Like it's bad, but in such a good way.
Where did Frost get his
And I-
samurai sword?
And I guess
from?
because it's the because it's the first one of its well, not the first one of its kind, but it's like I guess it's one of the first to do this and shape this genre. I forgive it. I'm just
I
like,
think
yeah,
it-
you
like,
go,
yeah.
Blade. You
this
do.
this
you...
film saved Marvel. Like this
Yeah.
and them selling the rights to Spider-Man saved Marvel in the 90s.
Well, and yet they went fucking down. They didn't stick to this style. I'd have
No.
loved it if fucking any of the Marvel movies were like this. It'd be great.
Yeah, like the
But
Blade
where-
movie they're still trying to make now. If they, made it like this, it would
Yeah,
be
I'd
good.
love it if they made it like this. Where did Frost get his katana from?
Next door to where he got all of his sunscreen from.
But like,
He went to
Probably
he went
from
to
one of the
Boots for
nice
his sunscreen.
Japanese vampires gave it to him as a present.
it would have been great if he was like, "I've replicated your sword."
Ah, the blade from Blade.
Yes, I've made it the other blade, and that would have been
Yes,
fine.
Blade 2.
No, he's just got a good. I have a blade too. I'd have watched that. That should have been the ending line. Yeah, that bothered me. Just where did he get it from?
Yeah, Forbidden Planet
this sounds
in
great.
New York.
This sounds great.
Did this whole, like, considering you're the one that saw it the
film is
most,
high.
did it hold up to the?
This film is high camp.
Hmm.
This film is high camp, and it's like edgiest, and I love that. I love that how campy it is. It's great.
It's simple in
Yeah.
that it's not really trying to do anything groundbreaking with the plot.
No,
Or
or the acting, or the script. Well, no,
the script.
the only thing groundbreaking is
quips.
how far away from the context can we get the dialogue? That was
How irrelevant can we get the dialogue to what's going on screen, and it still look cool? Doesn't even have to sound cool because we clearly do not care about how quiet the dialogue is.
because we don't know how
But
close.
yeah,
to put the
I did
microphone.
enjoy it. I was waiting for the mouth out of the mouth thing, and I realised, oh, that's a different Blade film.
Yep, that's Blade Trinity,
Yeah,
I believe, or they're introduced in Blade 2.
yeah. I think it's introduced in Blade 2, and then it's like all vampires in Blade 3, and maybe animals too.
Yeah, there's dogs.
I remember it being like, isn't there like a chihuahua or something? I don't know. But anyway, I had a really good time. I'm really glad I watched it because it's the first time as like an adult for sure that I've watched Blade
Yeah.
1.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's a good time, and because it's not dark and gritty and sad. It's just
No,
dark and
it's
gritty
dark
and
and gritty
stupid.
and happy and goofy. It's dark and gritty and goofy. That's what
Yeah.
it is.
So yeah, I think I'd give this, I don't know, 8 irrelevant one-liners out of
Yeah.
10.
I think the same. I think I'd go 8 motherfuckers trying to ice skate uphill. Out
Yeah,
of 10.
I'm definitely a solid 8 yeeted children by a greasy man.
8 greased up vampires.
8 bottles of sunscreen that Deacon has put on
Deacon
before any
used.
scene. Yeah.
Yeah, if you haven't
This
watched
was
it
a
in a
good
while,
time.
have a blast. I think
Yeah.
this is a really perfect like Halloween film as well for people who don't
Oh,
like
yeah.
scary. If they don't want to go down the scary route,
Oh yeah,
Right,
because
right.
it's
This
like
is
you
a
don't have to
great-
concentrate too much on the plot or anything.
you really don't.
No.
The
You
You
can
plot
can have
is-
this on. You can be like, oh, these are the really cool, fun scenes, and then whatever, and then
Yeah.
yeah,
Just I want to enjoy this film.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
It's goofy. It's a goofy mess.
It's a gooey mess.
It is
A
later.
bloody gooey mess.
Yeah, the way they explode is so.
Mm.
And like the ending when he explodes,
Oh god, it's
he
so
just, oh my god, he looks kind of like scrotal if you needed to go to the hospital.
dumb. He looked like A&E scrotal injury.
Yeah.
That's what he's giving.
Yeah, the true enemy of Blade is testicular torsion.
No, I think Blade was well on its side. It was doing him a favour.
Yeah.
Yeah. The true enemy of Blade is enunciation.
Well, I guess with that,
Actually, no. The true enemy of Blade is a greased up vampire. Hey, I've been Michael.
I've been Helen.
You can find this podcast on social media at Hilton Pod. That's at HILTM Pod. We're on Discord as well. If you want to come and chat to us, let us know when did you last see Blade? How hard is it to ice skate uphill?
Yeah.
Yeah. How
When
many
was the last time
attempts
you
have
went ice
had
skating? Tell us.
to ice skate
Yeah.
uphill?
Yeah. For the Patreon, are we going to use the money to make ice skates that go uphill easily, or
No, well,
very
no.
good sunscreen for vampires?
Well, no. I had 2 options. One is we're going to create a skating experience which is all uphill. It's just all uphill. And it's called
It's
Motherfuckers.
like an ice skating treadmill.
Yeah, all uphill.
It's like the opposite of a ski. Like you've got to climb a
it's
mountain
the
with your
opposite
skis
of
on,
a
and then you
ski
get on
slope.
the ski lift back down.
It's the opposite of a screw. You have to sit on one of those like seats that carry you back down.
Yeah.
No fun allowed. It's either that or gonna remake the MCU in this style.
Nice.
Everyone's gonna get bad lines of dialogue.
I
A
want
lot
to
of it's
see.
gonna
I want to
come
see
out,
Thor
isn't it?
really angry and wearing leathers
With the tiniest
and
glasses.
so
you've
much
ever
sun
seen.
cream on.
The
Yes, and the
tiniest-
tiny glasses. Oh.
Tiny weedy glasses.
I'm really glad that hasn't come back fully yet. Like, glasses fashion is changing, and I'm worried.
Yeah.
But it hasn't got back to tiny glasses just yet.
Tiniest wraparound shades. That's all I want.
Because it only ever ends up making you look like you can be Albus Dumbledore, Blade, or a Nazi.
I saw someone wearing those like tiny wraparound shades, and it genuinely shocked me. Like it was a couple days ago. I was like,